Welcome everyone to another RDB Reviews with Ryan Balkwill, author of rdbreviews.wordpress.com. Ryan has some wrestling. Are they programs or games, Ryan? Remind me.
Well, yes, they are programs. Yep. It's all officially on the WWE network, but the two I got here is that program, but split into two parts.
The Monday Night War and the Monday Night.
Of a topic to focus in just one set.
Is that different to this one? This is Monday Night War.
Well, this is the same.
Would you say, Ryan, this is the post that we're going to be discussing?
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. Okay, so I have Ryan's post in front of me. Ryan, can I ask as well, have you done an illustration for this? Do you have anything you'd like to show for this one?
Oh, yeah. I got my review of it, and so is you.
But, I mean, do you have any painting, any artwork about this one?
Yes, I think I'll show you on Monday.
But I didn't record it, Ryan, so I'd love to see it again. Wonderful. So what Ryan's done is illustrated today's topic for RDB Reviews episode 21, the Monday Night War, WWE versus WCW. Ryan's got some wrestlers. He's got a guy who looks like he's had a kiss with the face paint. And he's got what look like trucks and men with guns down the bottom.
Yeah, Jeeps.
So that's the war aspect of it.
And what you see down there in the middle is called SmackDown games. The collection of the old WWF SmackDown game for the two original PlayStation consoles.
You have added features that aren't necessarily about WWE, WCW. I saw NWO on a guy's t-shirt, so you're just adding little details as well.
Yeah, why not?
I like that a lot, Ryan. You're a really good illustrator. Cool. So that's given us a taste for what we're in for. It's a clash of two companies, WCW and the WWE.
Yeah.
Ryan, would you like me to read what you've written in your post for this, and then we can talk about it?
Go on.
Nice one. What we're talking about today is a sport documentary directed by Kevin Dunn, starring everyone who was involved in the Monday Night War, says Ryan. The plot: the Monday Night Wars were a period of mainstream televised American professional wrestling where the World Wrestling Federation's Monday Night Raw and World Championship Wrestling's Monday Nitro were broadcast opposite each other in a battle for Nielsen ratings each week. Ryan says he was looking forward to watching this again. The docu-series was the best well-done representation of this topic. The pros: they took their time to go over every aspect of the war in each of the 20 episodes format. A lot of pro wrestling's greatest moments, memories and superstars did happen during that time period, gave their own thoughts of the Monday Night War. The series was not afraid to show a lot of foul language and sexuality in the late 90s. And after I finished watching this series, I felt like telling a story from start to finish with a mix of old and new superstars telling their memories and experiences during this time. Cons: some of the decisions I wish can be done differently. I don't believe some of the opinions of these people, and I blame the downfall of WCW on the people, those in charge of it, and I wish the product was more like today's product. You lament, you're sad to see WCW go under.
Yeah, which we'll discuss on Monday, yeah?
Yeah, so as Ryan's going to mention that, we did actually cover these topics, but I managed not to record that interview. So we're going over the subjects again. Yeah. So for the sakes of the audience, Ryan, if you can speak on it again.
Right, yes. Like you said, it's two rival companies, two completely different business geniuses, which is one side is Mr. Businessman and the entire McMahon family and the family empire, and the other side you got Ted Turner with TNT and Time Warner, WCW. Yes, so they're like clashing for rating supremacy, and also one of them stays in business and the other one is out.
That's the American way, isn't it? One person wins, crushes his enemies, and the other one goes. Yeah. Can I ask, Ryan, because I know we discussed this already, but I might not have asked this question. Who started it? Who started the war?
Well, something like a war was, it doesn't like start with a like explosion and boom, the war begins.
Right.
Not like that. It's like starting with a disagreement.
Okay, so there was a feud.
both men. As in, like, for talent starting with a disagreement
Okay.
to share talent back and forth with each other, so to probably make both brands even better.
Yeah, you would think that they could collaborate. I'm just wondering whether this was an actual feud or if it was kind of make-believe and they were pretending to be at loggerheads, you know, because if it was good for both of them.
Which they disagree on certain things, and now at this point, I think it said in the documentary, Vince like has a fallout with Ted, like a big public disagreement and walk out. That's when the war started.
Would you say it was the TV networks who decided to do this rivalry, do you think? Or did they all just agree that they were going to do this Monday night? We're going to play both programs at the same time and we're going to see who the fans pick.
I think it happens over time.
20 episodes, Ryan. So you've mentioned in your pros that it has 20 episodes, so you're happy about the number. Does it kind of tell that story? Does it have a story narrative?
Well, yeah, that's the part I forgot. When I meant to put there by mistake, which I didn't get time for.
That's okay.
But in the, like, there 20 episodes to squeeze into 4 discs.
Yeah.
So they could not, like, squeeze all these episodes into just one box set. Instead, they just counted down and just the 2 parts with those each.
More to sell. Maybe that's why they did it. It sounds like a TV series, if you will, Ryan. 20 episodes. It's quite a lot of episodes. It's more than Space Force has. It tells the story, basically, doesn't it? Did you say each episode leads into the next one?
It feels like that to me, does, yes. Just two, like I said, 2 companies going head to head with each other.
Yeah.
To see which one was stand and the other one fallen.
I get that was the idea of it, was it? That one company would win over the other company?
Well, yeah, if you actually think it back to yourself.
Okay.
And ECW do play a key part in the war.
ECW?
Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Right, so that's another company. Or is that owned by Ted Turner or Vince McMahon as well?
No, it's owned by Paul Heyman.
So glad that you know all these names, Ryan. So they were a smaller company than the other two, but they play a part in the documentary.
Yeah, they do play a part. Like, both WWE and WCW are both, like, mainstream, like, program. ECW is like the little sister compared to WCW and WWE. A bit like Fight Club.
Right, very good.
But
Don't talk about
instead of like using the fist of anything, they use tables, ladders, chairs, barbed wire, jump off high buildings. Yeah.
Sounds more like Celebrity Deathmatch now. Barbed wire.
Sort of, yeah.
Is it not plot spoiling at all? It just occurred to me, Ryan, if this is kind of like a series, to know that WWE wins, that's not a plot spoiler, because if you're into wrestling, you kind of know this story.
Yeah, because during the late 19, except for me, that draw a lot of people at that time to keep watching wrestling again, like you either a WCW reporter or WWE supporter.
A bit like football, you have your team.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Like you've got both shows on a Monday night, which you can decide yourself.
I was into wrestling earlier than you, but I've not watched it maybe as long as you. So my wrestling history goes from like 1989 till about 1995. But I can remember WCW coming about when they got Hulk Hogan on and he became Bad Hulk. He was wearing lots of leather and lots of black. Yeah. That wasn't right.
WCW.
Yeah, I just thought that, I don't like that. I remember Shawn Michaels and Hulk wearing all this like black leather and it was all very dark and not the true blue, colourful WWF that I loved. So I'm just making the point. My allegiance was to WWF And I was like, not interested in WCW.
Well, yeah, because I never actually watched WCW that much. Well,
Yeah.
unless there's a few clips on it from other shows like Malcolm in the Middle years ago.
Oh, cool.
And then after all that, when I was growing up.
Would you say that this is where you got to know a bit about WCW? Like if you weren't watching it?
Well, yeah. Or probably from other people who probably watched, from the other people who watched other documentaries featuring old WCW superstars talking about WCW before, like example with the last Nitro, which everyone was fearing for their jobs, what's going to happen to them, before Shane McMahon pops up on their TV and they said, now I own WCW.
He's son of McMahon, is he? Shane McMahon?
Yes, and I'm doing that back for night after re-watching it on the network, which is this reaction priceless. He just didn't say anything.
Took a while to sleep in.
And in disbelief, my own son on me again.
Capitalism for you.
But in reality, the McMahon now own WCW and their trademark license.
Does it still exist? Is it still called WCW?
Yeah, in some of the fans' eyes. And also, all that content is officially all on the WWE net.
This is where it all sort of benefits us now, doesn't it? Because it's all on one streaming service. So, you can look at the history of it where it was two separate companies, but now it's all under one roof, which is quite cool.
And just like the same thing with ECW.
They went out, did they? Or they got bought, ECW?
Well, yeah, they just bought because that also in the same year as WCW, that company went out of business.
Okay.
They did show footage of that showing how this man brought out all the little promotions.
Yeah.
And just started to gobble up the big ones.
In fairness to him, I want to say it's still good fun. It's not like Vince McMahon made the wrestling bad by making it commercially his money thing, but he certainly did it for money reasons, I'm sure. He wanted to get super rich, so he bought out all these rivals.
And also to take the company, because basically he got a vision of turning WWF to a national company.
Well, yeah, then international. I mean, I can remember, Ryan, Yokozuna fighting.
And WCW in the same way, but very different, as in before WCW it was usually called the NWA, which is just the National Wrestling Alliance, which is share all the small mid-south promoters. And realised the NWA's falling because they can't compete with the WWF.
Yeah, they're kind of like a traveling circus, but they can't compete with the network, the TV rating money.
Other than having great talent there like Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, the Four Horsemen, Double AIS and the Anderson Brothers and Tony Blanchard.
This is NWA.
Yeah, the NWA. But since then, the start of the 90s, it's bought by Ted Turner and changed the name to WCW.
Was it ever good? I mean, you said you didn't really watch it, but what I'm asking, Ryan, was it obvious? Sorry, that wasn't fair of me. But was it obvious that WWE would win, right? This is with the war. Was it obvious who would win? Or were both kind of evenly matched to begin with?
If you watched all the other documentaries, topic, going on this topic, definitely the ending, whether it's just a main feature or just little clips here and there, it looked like whoever was coming on top, one of them had to budge of one of them basically 1 hour either money or just people lose the plot.
Well, I would think as well the talent. I don't know how much the wrestlers swapped sides, switched. I was aware of my favourite wrestlers going to WCW in the mid-90s, and that's possibly why I stopped watching, Ryan. I thought, I don't care now.
I know. And they did explain what you just said there about some of my wrestlers went to the other company.
Yeah.
Like, for example, with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They went to go to WCW, but instead of using their character name, Razor Ramon and Diesel, they used their real names.
I remember Razor Ramon. Hey, he was so cool. Hey.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I remember, to be honest, I remember Diesel, Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Or just know them both as just Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
Can I just for a minute, I'm going to tangent. I love how wrestlers find a gimmick. They find one little thing that they can do that sets them apart. And Razor Ramon's thing was he always had a toothpick and he had the slick back hair and he would always like pick his teeth, which was a bit gross, and then like flick it into the crowd maybe and then go and wrestle. But he seemed... Yeah, or did he put it behind his ear maybe? That's gross as well. But he was very cool. Like I liked him.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I too remember the NWO to associate with those two more importantly than their characters from WWF.
They had to reinvent themselves.
But I do remember watching a little bit of WCW. Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
Of when it was on Sky Sports, just early 2000s. But everything else after that, not that much.
Yeah. I went to university in 2003 and I didn't have TV for about 5 years after that point. So that might be when I might have actually stopped watching wrestling as a result of going off, and not having access to it. I can't remember now.
And also to move on with life as well.
Well, no, you say that, Ryan, but like, it's just, for me, it's just not having access to the media. Like, I haven't had a TV license for a long time. I have said, genuinely, I might like to get the WWE network because I can watch that with friends. It'd be really fun. But I am very keen on this kind of thing. I want to make the point that this isn't so much wrestling. This documentary is not just the scorecards and the sport. This is about the story of the company and the wrestlers and how they fought and who won in the end. And I made this point when we spoke about this before. It's narrated by Keith David, who's fantastic. He's a good actor and he's got a fantastic voice. So I think this is probably quite a good narrative. It's a good story to tell.
Yeah. And what I said in the review as well, it's got countless of memorable moments. Like the NWO forming, the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Montreal Screwjob, probably focused on Dark Side of the Ring special last year, and the rise of superstars like The Rock, Stone Cold, Mankind, well, Nick Foley and his two other alter egos, Goldberg, and probably the formation of the Generation X.
They're all a part of this story. Ryan has listed a huge amount of cast members for this program. Obviously, we'll put the link to Ryan's review in the description of this video. But yeah, there's a lot of recognizable names, and they're always so lucky to get these people to agree to talk because their job is just to wrestle. It's not to do documentaries.
Yeah, and also some of them are still active, if either producers today or just helps out behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Or just retired, or sadly no longer with us.
Their life, right? So if they're not wrestling, then they can be commentators or they can help behind the scenes or something. We were talking about characters like Ted DiBiase, which we've got listed here, the $1 Million Man. I liked him. And then you've got The Undertaker, Mark Calloway. So he's in this. So he is giving his opinion in this program, is he?
Well, briefly, yeah. Not in a, like a, his head and coat and talking like he's from the dead. It's just like he's just him as himself, as in Mark Calloway.
Good for him.
Which they don't actually mention his name on here.
Yeah.
Just mention Undertaker.
Okay. Yeah, because Mark Calloway isn't a recognizable name. I wouldn't know who that was.
No.
But it's really cool because these are my childhood heroes, right? Some of these people are people that I worshipped when I was a little boy.
Choice, then.
It'd be nice to see them again. When did this come out, Ryan? Do you know?
Yeah, 2014.
Oh, fantastic. So it's quite recent.
And they also like gave the birth of people like Stone Cold, Mick Foley and his three alter egos,
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, Stone Cold debuting The Rock, Triple H, with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, which Bret plays a real key role of kick-starting the Attitude Era. Eventually, like, get the ratings back to the WWF side.
All of this is told in the program, is it?
Correct. For those, as in audience, who haven't heard of this before, probably might need to read up on all this stuff beforehand before this.
Right, fanboys like me and you, we're already there. But if you don't know anything about it, it might help to watch some wrestling just to understand, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, after like each episode, you get like about 60 minutes of narration from three of the biggest stars, flat bang in the middle of the Monday Night War. On the first one, was hosted by Renee Young. It's got two people's side, two people from both sides. That's in Triple H from WWE, who's supporting their side, and you got Sting representing WCW. And in the second one, the narration is all hosted by Eric Bischoff.
There's just one narrator in that one. It almost feels like you'd have a good guy, bad guy narrative in that sense. Maybe the viewer picks their favorite and then you decide who is the good guy, who's the bad guy. That's a big part of wrestling, is they build up good guys, yay, and bad guys, boo. And there's lots of, it's black and white, isn't it? You know, you either hate them or love them.
Yes, definitely. Definitely with Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Mr. McMahon storyline.
All right. Takes on the
took an entire year to finish, 1998 to 1999, which is the feud which introduced the Mr. McMahon character, which is the corporate evil businessman, and Stone Cold Steve Austin is like the blue collar, beer drinking, hell raising SOB.
True blue American, yeah.
Yeah, who's spearing the base of defiance.
He always looked a bit just aggressive to me, Stone Cold. I never got, I mean, his name is perfect because I never got a sense of any warmth from him.
Oh yeah,
but,
he still have like that appearance even today.
Yeah, but if he's taking on the capitalist man in the suit, that's good. Good for him.
Yeah. So yeah, they focus a lot of things on here, like example, like the cruiserweights, and probably the divas.
Ric Flair.
As in the women. Yeah, good Ric Flair, thank you. Like I said, the NWO forming, growing and harmony between both companies, because you've got WWF with Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, DX, The Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Mick Foley. Mm-hmm. And WCW got the Sting, the NWO, Ric Flair, and Goldberg.
Okay, I've heard of Goldberg as well. Yeah, all these are coming back to me now. So, Ryan, I want to watch this. Scrolling to the bottom of Ryan's review.
Great
he says, I highly recommend watching this series to those who have subscribed to WWE Network. I have to get my subscription if I want to watch this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like I did.
Yeah.
Get the DVD version of these.
Yeah, could do. And this is interesting, Ryan. So there's two DVDs, two separate boxes.
Yep.
Is it 10 episodes on one, 10 on the other?
This one got 20 episodes, and this one also got 20 episodes.
You said that in our first version of the interview. Yeah, so it's 40 episodes all told. Yeah. Wow.
And don't forget they had, like, celebrities gave their thoughts as well. Like Mike Tyson, Dennis Rodman, and that's it.
Okay. I'm sure there's more.
Yes, pretty much. Which you have, like, many more moments, like Medusa chucking the old WWE World Championship belt in the trash.
Okay, yeah. I like the hair.
Even when she was, like, still originally signed to the WWF. Go out there, appear on WCW's show with the championship belt and say, "See ya,
Do you binge it, Ryan, or would you watch one episode a day? Like, how would you recommend people view this?
You can watch one and think of, oh my God, what happened next?
Yeah.
But at certain episodes, you might miss a little bit of connection, but more time you think about it after you'll probably binge watch them for one day or two, or,
Yeah.
or just give your eyes a rest from it.
Are
Then,
they an hour long, the episodes? Are they feet?
oh yeah,
Well,
definitely an hour long, yeah.
yeah. So that's easily 2 days of watching, even if you binged it. Yeah.
Yeah. And probably some of them superstars that are being interviewed are probably what they look like from other past documentaries, which are all available on the network. Or just like grabs like little bit of footage from other documentaries into this.
Fair enough.
Like with the Rock talks about like the This Is Your Life segment with Mankind.
Mm.
On the episode war, call it the greatest nights. Steady with the brightest smile on his face. Like he has such a great...
Yeah, I feel, Ryan, that Dwayne Johnson has probably done wrestling a big favor in the sense that he's so famous. I think he was the highest paid actor a couple of years ago after he was doing San Andreas and that kind of thing. But if you want to know where The Rock made his bones, go watch this documentary because you'll see how he became famous.
Yeah, because on this one, they focus on an entire episode on him.
Yeah, well, like I say, he's a true American dream now, isn't it? He's made it good.
Yeah, from his start off as Rocky Mania,
Right.
to turning heel, joined the Nation of Domination.
Okay.
Yeah, and closely becoming a bigger star of that group, and becoming WWE champion, becoming the corporate champion, The Rock. His feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and sadly he didn't talk about Hulk Hogan in it. Also to his bright spot of becoming a movie star.
Yeah, because I think Hogan is the only other actor I can think of who really kind of broke into films, but Hogan just did Mr. Nanny. He's not a brilliant actor, but The Rock's not bad. He's okay.
Good, yeah.
Right. Ryan, is there much more you would like to say about this one?
Well, yeah. Like I said, there's certain moments in the series which it does focus on like the Montreal Screwjob, which is basically Bret Hart getting, no, I refuse to lose the championship in my home country because of whatever.
Okay, nativist.
And Shawn Michaels will not basically refuse to do the bidding for you, and in refuse to put you over because you're an arsehole.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And Vince McMahon is hot because this is where Vince McMahon started to really get involved in the action a lot.
Yeah, he becomes almost like a playable wrestler, doesn't he? He gets in the ring, he rolls his sleeves up.
Yeah, almost like throw Brett's t-shirt off.
Okay, you were saying Stone Cold and he have this feud.
Yeah, which this is right before Austin and Man kick off. But it did start just right before Stone Cold Stanley McMahon in Madison Square Garden. And yes, this was about going back and forth about Bret Hart's long-term contract. And the feud started, oh sorry, we can't afford to pay you. We're losing you to the rival company with the WWF belt.
Right.
And Vince is worried that his champion was going to go to a rival company with his championship belt.
He didn't think that through, did he? Like, we built you up, but now you're going to jump ship and take all of our accolades. Yeah, no, give the belt back, fella. Yeah.
well, instead, they actually screwed him, basically double-crossed because of the protection of his company.
Right.
Yeah, but in spite of that, it's the sacrifice what the people thought of him, which is a commentator. But we're like in kayfabe, which I think it's done to death, nobody cares about it anymore, which is if a Jim was sharp about it. And it's like cost him billions of dollars and basically obviously WWE career.
This is Bret Hart we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Hitman.
Yeah.
Which got screwed by Vince McMahon in order to protect his company and his wrestlers.
Okay. Can I say, Ryan, is it possible that this leads well into the Dark Side of Wrestling documentary? You were saying about the Hart brothers, there's a particular double episode. So maybe if you watch this, you should also watch that so that you understand the backstory of the Harts at least.
Well, yeah. Do you mean to learn about the Harts? I think I got like dozens of documentaries of them in my cupboard.
I think what I want to say to our viewers is if you're interested, if this piques your interest about wrestlers, then you can watch this documentary that Ryan and I reviewed a few weeks back called The Dark Side of Wrestling. So we've just discussed Stone Cold, Vince McMahon, and Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon. Well, in your cons, you say some of the decisions I wish could be done differently. What do you mean?
There's some moments I'm like, and this is like, for me, like, listening from complete different ways, from many different people, documentaries, or some people in public, or new, which is like the finger poke of doom, which Hogan won the World Championship from Kevin Nash on the episode Nitro, which just got one finger on his chest, went down, 1, 2, 3. Like child play.
Doesn't sound very entertaining.
No, silly. It's silly.
So that wasn't done very well. That was a negative. No. But overall, I mean, Ryan has written, if you read his review, a lot more pros than cons, and he's certainly happy with the number of episodes. There's a lot in this, the Monday Night War. There's a lot to digest.
Yeah, and also, other than that, I think, there's a lot of great moments throughout the time period between the two companies. I think, overall, I think it comes down to it. One of them will have to rise from the ashes, and the other one is stay down from the ashes.
Okay. The other one's historic now. We don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Do you have any more wrestling-related documentaries in mind for us to talk about?
Oh,
excellent.
Yeah. I've been collecting them ever since I was about 12 years old.
That's great. So you're not just interested in watching it as wrestling. You want to know the stories behind it and all that. So people watching our episodes will get to know more about wrestling. If you're not a wrestling fan and you'd rather Ryan went back to talking about Disney Plus, sorry, Ryan's going to talk about what he wants to, but we're going to learn more about wrestling because Ryan's got more to talk about it in future.
So I think this is a great series. I highly recommend it.
Monday Night War. This is WWE Network and available on DVD as 2 box sets.
Yeah, all episodes are available on the WWE Network.
Yeah, so you can watch it one at a time online. Yeah. Do you know what you would like to talk about on Monday? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I was thinking to myself,
I'm
actually gonna do a little series called Streaming Summer, which is I dial in all the stuff I watch for streaming services this summer because we're in the summertime now. So I thought it was fitting to talk about the things I streamed and binge watched this summer.
If you talk about particularly what you've enjoyed, great.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I found out last night that Mulan has been released on Disney Plus. So talking about streaming services, how do you feel about that?
Well,
are you happy that you can watch it, or are you going to wait?
Happy. But also, I'm not that surprised. At some point, some of these things have got to be streamed somehow.
I think the Disney company have decided, look, we're going to get a lot more for our money, our buck, if we just put this online now. Yeah. But you were talking about this in our first interviews, and it was meant to come out in March. So clearly they just can't hang on anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. And also they just say there, but Disney is, they announced all the new Marvel TV shows that's going to be on Disney Plus. They are on hold because probably the coronavirus or just rescheduling everything now.
You have watched a lot this summer, and so you're going to work on a list or a little mini-series, was the way you suggested it, about what you've been digesting. Ryan, we look forward to that on Monday.
I'm just going to say a clip. I'm going to share a little sneak peek preview first.
Okay.
Just to let the people get excited for. And there's Umbrella Academy Season 2.
Yep.
Warrior Nun. Yes.
Yeah, mentioned yesterday, Level Best. Yeah, Warrior Nun. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And everything else.
Cool. So maybe lead with those two and then see where we go from there.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. Thank you very much for today's discussion, man. That was really interesting on one subject, all interview. Right, but Ryan will let us know with an illustration. You going to do another drawing on Monday?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Excellent.
If I can just get through this boiling heat in here.
Yeah. Get your windows open. Get some ventilation. Yeah. Ryan, thank you so much again for another brilliant interview. And we will speak to Ryan again next week.
And hopefully this one goes on the YouTube channel properly.
It's recorded, Ryan. I promise you.
Thank you.
Right. Take care. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.